Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's take a look at Facebook scams and misinformation. Now, way back in episode number 83, I talked about urban legend emails. Now, these were emails with lots of misinformation in them. And this kind of thing has now moved over to Facebook, where you see it almost every day. For instance, you may see posts in your newsfeed from friends that have news or information in them, and you kind of feel that it might not be true. And sure enough, if you search online, you can find out that they're wrong. It's usually very easy to search and find out something's not true. Just take a piece of text from the post and search on that, and then the information comes up. A lot of times people aren't actually writing these things. Of course, they're just reposting and liking and commenting on them, and they end up on your newsfeed because somebody you were friends with took an action on their newsfeed. A lot of these things have to do with Facebook itself. For instance, this was a chain letter that went around over the last few months where it basically scares everybody into thinking that their private posts can now be seen by anybody using Facebook search. Well, the fact is that only if you have your post set to being public, or you can be shared with friends of friends, can people that are not your friends see it. What's worse about this is it asks your friends to take action, which is unnecessary, and then it asks you to repost it. So it becomes this chain letter that just keeps going throughout, filled with misinformation. Now, if you want to find out which of these is true and which of these isn't, it's very easy. You just need to go to a website like Snopes, or just do a Google search for whatever you're looking for and maybe put Facebook and scam after it. If you look at Snopes, you can see, if you search for Facebook, that a ton of stuff comes up. There's tons of things here. Most of them not true or are misleading in some way. So it's very easy to do a search and actually come up with lots of information about how that post came around and what it means and what it doesn't mean. Now, here's something else you may have seen. One of these too easy quizzes. They're usually something like this, like name a city that doesn't have the letter E in it or something. And they're really hard to resist. You immediately think of one answer, then another, and then you just have to comment and put your answers because you think you're so smart. Well, these are very easy for a reason. They want to get you in there and get you commenting. And the reason for that is something called EdgeRank. You see, when a company or organization has a Facebook page, or a person has their own personal page, they're judged by something called EdgeRank. You see, you might notice that not everybody that you follow on Facebook and every page you follow on Facebook appears on your newsfeed all the time. And this is because that Facebook kind of judges whether or not a post is important, and that's how it makes it to your newsfeed. Now, if somebody posts all the time and nobody likes their stuff and nobody comments on their stuff, then their edge rank is low and their stuff isn't seen to be very important. But if somebody posts something like this and gets like hundreds of comments, it drives up their edge rank. So when they post something else, that may be a paid advertisement or something like that, they get a lot more attention on your newsfeed. So by commenting and liking this kind of thing, you actually are giving more edge rank to the original poster, who will then be able to use that in some sort of way. So it's not necessarily harmful to you, but you should know that there is another side to it, and there's a reason these things are there. And the same thing is true when something asks you to like something. A lot of these are fake, showing you a person who supposedly has an illness, like this if you think they're beautiful, or like this if you think they can beat this, like this if you hate cancer, that kind of thing. These are all there to get lots of likes to build up edge rank for whoever originally posted it so that they can do other things later on. Now, have you seen this quote recently, or maybe other quotes attributed to famous people? Well, guess what? This one, Albert Einstein never said that. And this happens all the time. Misinformation like this. If you do some research, you can find out that originally this quote was attributed to Anonymous. It was probably just made up by somebody that just wanted to make a point, and then later on somebody threw Albert Einstein's name onto it. And I hate this kind of misinformation. A rule I follow is that if I get a piece of information, whether it's a quote, a news story, some facts, whatever it is, if I want to pass it on to somebody, I'll go and verify it myself. I'll look for a news source or some other information source that will make me feel that yes, this is true before I pass it on. Now, it's important to realize passing something on is as simple as liking it or commenting on it. Because if you do that, you're basically saying that you approve of the information, and then your friends may see it. So even just liking or commenting on something kind of is like passing it on to people. And then, of course, there are real scams, things that are trying to basically get something from you. Don't ever give anybody your password. Don't ever respond to an email from Facebook saying something, asking about your password or personal information. Facebook will never send that kind of thing out. Always be skeptical of any information, any request for information you get, whether it's on Facebook, email, or some other way. Hope you found this useful. Until next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. If you found this video useful, there's one thing you can do for me in return. It won't cost you anything and it will just take you a few seconds. If you're not already at MacMost.com, go there and then look for the video you just watched and go to that page. Underneath the video you'll see a bunch of different links that help you share the video with friends. Take a second to click the like button. This sends a signal out to the rest of the internet that the video is worth watching. Thanks.